Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. Today, I'm going to be doing my weekly video on the Bitcoin rainbow chart, Bitcoin price action, where the altcoins are at. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If there are any altcoins you would like for me to take a look at in some of my technical analysis videos, comment below. I take a look at a lot of Coinbase coins as well as ones on Robinhood. So more of the common known coins, because on this channel I try to look at altcoins for the more conservative minded long-term crypto investor, trade investor, rather than the degenerate gambling Solana coin traders. So just so you guys are aware, that's kind of more the altcoins that I tend to look at. Anyways, let's start off with fear and greed before we jump into the rainbow chart. And the crypto fear and greed index, brought to you by official nanosparkle.com. Get car scratches removed. Yeah, you never know what advertisements you get on this site. Anyways, fear and greed, we're up into high greed 71. We were down a little bit recently, and we have shot back up because Bitcoin, I think it was as low as something like 56,000, if I can recall. We'll take a look at the charts, but then it's gone back up to around 64,000. So taking a look at the last year, you can see that overall the fear and greed has steadily gone up. Now recently, since the new all-time highs, we have been in this downtrend, dipped down quite a bit at that recent sell-off, and have gone back up. Now you'll notice, at least in this section, the fear and greed is pretty much correlated to the price of Bitcoin. When we take a look at Bitcoin, not dominance, but Bitcoin on this is on the weekly. Let's take a look at it on the daily. When we take a look at it on the daily chart, you can see here how, look at that, that's early March as we're getting into new all-time highs, and we're just slowly coming down. And the price, you can see it on the right, we got down as low as like 56,000. We can zoom in a little bit more. Let's see how low we got. Yeah, 56.5 and a half. So that's about the area where the price of Bitcoin got down to, and that's kind of reflected here in the fear and greed index. So overall, we are in this slight downtrend. I'll show you guys what I'm looking for to show me a confirmation, or what steps I would want to see for confirmation back to the upside. Going to the alt-season index, as you can see here, guys, this is this big macro chart. Let me get the dates on the screen for you. So 2018 alt-season, it really ended around, guys, trust me, it wasn't going this late. Trust me, bro. I remember altcoins brutally sold off. It was around January 8th, and they just tanked really quick. Within a couple weeks, alt-set went up like 20, 50x in here. They were down like 80% by here. It happened so quick. As we go on here, we had these three peaks of alt season, and from what I recall, because I have been in crypto since this time in here in 2017, when we were breaking new all-time highs and getting up here in March, April of 2021, it's this middle section right here that I truly remember alt season being crazy. And here, yes, there were a lot of gains to be made, but from what I saw, at least with the Coinbase altcoins, a lot of it took place in here. This section of the chart, there were some alts that peaked later. As you could just see, we had a double top for Bitcoin, but the true top was in November around this time, and there were some alts that peaked back then. So as you can see, the alt-season index shows that we were going down, 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 and now it is clearly in an uptrend going the other way. So yeah, still early days, and there is still, in my opinion, some good areas to dollar cost average in on some altcoins. So going over to the Bitcoin rainbow chart, we are right here in this, as blockchaincenter.net shows us, the the still cheap zone. It looks like we almost got down to the accumulate zone, but we are still in the still cheap zone, that fourth green bar. And yeah, you can see right there, it's got us at around 53,500 to 70,000, and we are on the upper middle end of that. So we can take a look at some later dates. Some people believe that we'll be topping out by December. I'll show you one reason why that could happen. And conservatively speaking, you see how we get into these top red band areas on this rainbow chart. Now, in 2017, we got up in that red band. Last time in 2021, we got in the sell zone, the second red band, and then the top of the orange band. So conservatively speaking, I don't think it's too far off to say that maybe we'll get into the orange band, the third band down, and that could be anywhere from 143 to 185,000 later this year. 4-year cycle, let's say we peak sometime later in 2025, then we would be looking at, I'll just go October, like 183 to 235. So because this is on a logarithmic chart, goes up by factors of 10, the longer we have to wait for the Bitcoin top, as brutal as that is and as much as that sucks, the higher potential returns we could get. So I know it sucks, but I think of it this way. Now, personally, I'm not quite believing that we will top in the 4-year cycle. I could be wrong. My guess is more of the early peak and later this year. That's my guess. Again, I could totally be wrong. But if it is later next year, the nice thing about that is, A, we have more time to dollar cost average in, accumulate, and as you see, the prices will be higher should we get into those same zones. So I would like, if we did have another 4-year cycle, that would be awesome. It would require us to be more patient, but I think overall it'd be great. But you never know. We had to wait. You can see here, November of 2013 to December 2017, 4 years, give or take within a month. And then from December 2017, we went 4 years to the very Bitcoin top of 21. Now, I will say again, from what I saw, this is truly where alt season was. I know we had those 3 peaks. One of the peaks here, this was showing September 2020. I'm sure there were alts going up back in this time in here. And then this was the second peak, and this was the third peak that you saw on that alt season index. Guys, from what I remember, this was the true time for alt season, and I'll go to the chart and show you why the charts confirm that as well. And so, speaking of moving over to the charts, I wanted to show you guys, first of all, I was playing around with different time frames. For any of you regular viewers of the channel, you know how I like to take a patient approach. When I look at buying, I like to look at the monthly, then the weekly, and then maybe the daily time frames. I don't go in much shorter than that. I think if you zoom in too much, you'll freak out too quickly. I like for investing to be as stress-free as possible and as simple as possible. And that's one of the things those are a couple of things I want to get through on my channel, is how we can make investing, even into altcoins and crypto, more easier for you guys and more user-friendly. So one thing I want you to know, so in the last month, this is from April 8th, we've been in this downtrend. We've been having lower highs, okay, and overall these lower lows. And so you can see recently Bitcoin, within the last couple days, or maybe that's just the last day, it peaked at like 65, and it didn't get above this range. So I am wondering if on this 30-minute time frame, if we get under that 200, that dark blue, if we go down lower, guys, I've been telling you about how maybe 52, 53K could be possible. Let's go over to the daily time frame. And so here on the daily, it's the most commonly used time frame, by the way, when people are showing you charts on TradingView or on their YouTube videos. But on the daily time frame, you can see that Bitcoin has been testing this 50-day moving average. Got down to the 100. That was a nice, good time to possibly dollar cost average in on some altcoins, and there's still some good time right now on certain altcoins, but it's testing it. And as you can see, I am using the Heikin-Ashi candles. They're candles that have a little bit of different of a of a time frame than your regular daily candles. But if we get rejected by this 50 moving average and make a new lower low, guys, watch for this 200-day moving average, this dark blue line. It's at 52.5, and we have all this price structure back here. That's at around 51, wicked as high as 53. Let me make sure this fib is on log scale. Okay, so is that, yeah, let's take a look at this fib as we zoom out. And that fib here, that's the 786, that's showing at around 50,000. Now, as I zoom out here, where does it have sometimes it shows, yeah, okay. So the 786 fib is there too. So guys, there's three good things there, and reasons why I'd say there's, my cat says hi if you just heard him meow. He hopes your investments are doing well. So there's three things here that leads me to believe this would be kind of a last area of defense, but a really strong area to have a nice bounce off of. We have the 200-day moving average. We have this price structure, and we have the 786. If we go to the weekly, let's see where the 50-week moving average is. Now, it is moving up. It's at 46,000. My cat's very talkative right now. And maybe it's going to take some time to play out, and the 50 is going to move a little higher. You know, sometimes we get wicks down these things, but the 200-day moving average, the 50-week moving average are two things to watch as far as moving forward. And let's say, you know, maybe we're getting a little bit of a fake out when we do start going up. Guys, step one, getting above this 50 moving average and closing with a candle body above it. Now, it did here, but again, it just made a lower high and kept going. If we not only close above, but get above this area right here and these candles at around 67,000, I would say I would be feeling very strong about Bitcoin getting back to 70,000. Going over to Bitcoin dominance. Guys, remember how I told you about when alt season truly happened? Let's go to the weekly, and you can get the weekly by going on the 5-year. Here it says 5 years and 1 week intervals, 1 year, 1 day intervals. But when alt season happened in 2017, early 2018, look at the dates at the bottom here. Okay, this week, December 18th, 2017. That's around when Bitcoin was topping. Okay. When Bitcoin was topping, but then dominance fell. And if you don't know what dominance is, this is the percent. So 55% of all money in crypto is in Bitcoin. Okay. When that money is flowing out of Bitcoin and into altcoins, that's when these altcoins, if you're lucky enough, can go 5x, 10x, 20x, even more inside of a month. It's crazy. I've been through this phenomenon twice. I've been lucky enough to get into a few altcoins that have done many multiples, and it's been awesome. That's why I'm still back here again, because it's great to make money, and I'm hoping this works out yet again. You never know. We only have 2 data points that have shown us it's worked out, but I'm hoping it'll happen again. But as you can see here, as soon as it got to January 8th, that's when altcoins were just falling through the floor and selling off. We had about 4 weeks until the very peak, and it was crazy. There was one altcoin I only put in like $250, and I made $10,000 off it. There was another one, very similar story, and yeah, I didn't sell the very top. I didn't know about this chart back then. I did make great profits, but yeah, god damn, I wish I did. But the next time around, again, remember this date. Remember how I showed you guys on the rainbow chart? That's not the rainbow chart. Here's a rainbow chart. That we had alt season in here in March and April of 21. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Look at the dates at the bottom. When Bitcoin dominance started to go, look at the dates. March until May, early May of 21. I'll show you that on Bitcoin here. You take a look right here. When did we have that sell-off? Look at the date at the bottom. May of 2021. And Bitcoin went from around 60,000 all the way to 28,000. So fell by over 50%. And yeah, it was a crazy time. Now here we had the 50-week moving average at a nice bounce off. then it rode the 100, the 50, and then down. And overall, by the way, in stocks, crypto, it doesn't matter. The 50-week moving average, as long as we stay above it and bounce off it, things are overall bullish. And when we go underneath the 50-week moving average, that's when the trend is reversing. And as you can see here, take a look at the RSI below, and even back here, it wicked under the 50 moving average. The RSI in the weekly is getting below 50 as well, the relative strength index. We're below the 50, it gets above, confirmed bullish, and went underneath a little bit again. Now, because we've been in such a bullish market, you can see here Bitcoin's coming down. Well, it got close to the 20 moving average here. It wicked down and just touched the 20 MA moving average and then came back up. So overall, the RSI is still elevated. And yeah, keep an eye on Bitcoin dominance. And I'm going to come back to this in a second. Another thing you can watch here, and this is Tether dominance. So Tether dominance, and I highly recommend having the RSI on. At least this is a theory of mine. And that is when we have this trend line going up. Let me hide the moving averages. Okay, that cleans it up a bit. We have this trend line. I know it's not perfect, but I want you to look at this. 2017 top is the first bump on the trend line. Next bump was the 2019 mid-cycle top. And going over to the rainbow chart, that's right here. So again, we're looking at the Tether dominance. The COVID top before the COVID dump was right here. Again, touching that trend line. Now look what happens here for the first Bitcoin top. When it got up to 65K, this was alt season as well. It rode this trend line. Also look at the relative strength, how it stays under 50. And as soon as it goes up, guys, look what date came up again, May 10th. Now this can move up very violently, very quickly. When it came back and we made that true top in Bitcoin around 69,000, that was here. Now we've been away from this Tether dominance line until we made those recent new all-time highs. Now the RSI is still under 50. So big things can still happen. Maybe a mini alt season, kind of like I showed you on this. Maybe we get one of these guys and it comes back down. I don't know. But it is curious. As long as we still stay under 50 on the RSI, on the weekly time frame, I think some good things might still happen. Now, overall, I had a theory before that maybe because the RSI was deeper than we ever were, that it might take a while and that maybe by early summer we stay down here and maybe we would get an early Bitcoin top, something like 140, 150K. That's still in play, but if we come back up and we have kind of a bit of a sell-off, maybe to that 52K level I showed you about, maybe even lower, something in the 40s, then you would see it come back here. And again, that's not a bad thing. I know it sucks in the short term, but again, we're waiting for Bitcoin dominance to tank. And if it gives us more time to accumulate, that's more money to make. And I know it sucks to see prices go lower, but again, here at Market Psychology, we want to find value where there is fear. We want to buy when our favorite cryptos and altcoins are oversold. These are good things. It's not to be bearish just to be bearish and, like some of these bearish YouTubers are, just to go against the grain and say the opposite of everyone else. Guys, you don't want to get into a tribal mind frame of bearish or bullish. It's all BS as far as I'm concerned. If you are smart, you make a plan, and when the conditions of the market and the prices of your altcoins meet the conditions of your plan, then you buy in. Then you dollar cost average in. You accumulate. Obviously, don't invest more than you're able to afford to lose. But for myself personally, not financial advice for you guys, I have a budget set each month of how much money to put in. And if there's value in the altcoins and stocks I like, I dollar cost average in. If there's nothing of value at a good moving average, then I don't. I pull that money till the next month. And I don't blow the whole wad of money all at once. I take a look. How deep is the value? Should I be pulling the money more? What can I put my money into? So just something to consider. One other thing I wanted to show you guys to watch for, and that is total 3. So this is the market cap of all the altcoins outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I drew a fib up on here from the prior high to the low. We have this trend line. Let me get this guy on here. And you know what? I think we're good with the RSI. I don't think we're going to need it again. Maybe I'll add on the buy-sell signal I like. And let's add on, or let's put on the moving averages again. I want you guys to keep an eye on this, depending on what happens. Should we get a little bit of a dump? Now here, look at that. We have a weekly buy signal for the altcoins. So that's saying bullish for altcoins overall. Okay, cool. We'll see. We just had the sell signal get down to the 20 moving average. Now, if this doesn't get above the 10, this may just be a little bit of a fake out. But should altcoins or total 3 get down here, guys, anywhere on the 50-week moving average, 200-day moving average, in my opinion, are very strong times to consider dollar cost averaging in. Now, there are already some altcoins in those levels. Chainlink was just at the 50-week moving average, so that's good. Other ones, IMX, there's a bunch of altcoins that have similar looking charts. So, that's just the total market cap of everything. Obviously, altcoins are going to look different. Do your research and, just spend 10 minutes looking at, maybe make a list of, or find 4 altcoins on Coinbase that you've done your research, you really love, and then just check the charts for 5-10 minutes once a week. You can throw on these indicators, okay? You can draw a fib. You can, look at this, the EMA 20, 50, 100, 200. That's what I use. I really like this. And the 1020 MA crossover with Heikin-Ashi signals, because I use the Heikin-Ashi candles. Those are 2 good ones to use. And by the way, in order to draw a fib, and again, I want my channel to be educational for people. Here's the fib guy right here, and you just draw from the prior high to the low. When you're looking in between the former prices, when we are starting a new uptrend, you can draw a fib just from the low to the high. And also, I showed you guys this. Make sure your fib's on log scale, okay? Now, if you're looking for price targets above prior all-time highs, take your fib off log scale, and it'll show you good targets. One other thing I wanted to show you, well, actually 2 other things, okay? Speaking of taking fibs off log scale, okay? We're going to go to the rainbow chart here in a second. We're going to grab our fib, okay? I drew it from the high to the low. We're going to take it off log scale. I want to show you guys something. Look where these fib extensions are. We have the 1618 at 100, 2,000. We have the 2618 at 156,000. That is my main target. Now, if things get crazy bullish, maybe 4-year cycle, watch this 3618 at 209,424. Now, if you've never seen this before, you might be asking yourself, okay, cool, you took the fib off log scale. Who cares? Does that ever happen? Let me show you guys something. So, drawing the same fib from the high to the low on NVIDIA here. What do you see? NVIDIA, of course, we have to put this on auto. Hit that 1618, reject it. Now, my fibs aren't drawn perfectly, and by the way, that's why they're peaked a little above it. The 2618, it hit it, bounced down to the moving average, went up, hit the 3618, hit it, came down to the 50, moving on up. Okay, that's why this is important. And so again, if I were you, I would be watching, let me go to the weekly. I would be watching these price levels. There's probably going to be resistance, if I had to guess, at the 1618, 2618, 3618. If it gets above that, hey, I'm happy to be wrong. But if I had to guess, I personally don't see Bitcoin getting above 209. If the top's within the next couple of years, I'm happy to be wrong. And to be honest, I don't care. I don't hold Bitcoin. I'm into altcoins. I'm into making bigger multiples, okay? I'm a little bit of a gambler, but I'm trying to be an educated gambler. I'm willing to wait for my price targets to be hit or Bitcoin dominance to dump, and wherever my altcoins are at, I'll take my profits. And guys, another important thing to know, All because an altcoin has gone up to a certain price before does not guarantee it's going to make new all-time highs again. There are many altcoins in 2021. There are many altcoins I saw that did not make new all-time highs here that were big altcoins back here. So when Bitcoin dominance dumps to the lower 40 percentiles, this is part of my plan. I would heavily consider, look at that, low 40 percentiles. I would heavily consider taking profits before things sell off. Now again, last time we had the double peak. Some altcoins peaked in here after we went up and back down again. Okay, that can happen. That can happen. But just, that way you don't get left holding gigantic bags. Okay? And again, guys, I showed you those price targets. 155. Let me go back to it. 155 and 210. Let's go take a look at the rainbow chart. 155 and 210. Okay, now if Bitcoin tops, by the way, I have this green line here at later December. I'm going to go back to rainbow chart, I promise. I have the green line here in December of this year and the red line here in August. Here's how I came up with those numbers. When you measure from the time Bitcoin makes a new all-time high and breaks the former all-time high to the next peak, okay, so that the white line, by the way, that's the halving. The yellow line, that's when it makes a new all-time high to the next cycle peak. 273 days. Okay, we're going to average this out from when we break all-time highs to the new peak. 273, 280, 273, 280, 343. Add those together, divide by 3, you get around 300. Okay, and remember, we broke the all-time high before the halving. And if you take that average of 300 from breaking the all-time high, that's what puts us later this year. Okay, now guys, I think of this more as a range. Now, if you do all the same from the halving to the next peak, the white line to the next peak, if you take those three numbers and average them, that's where I got this August of 25. So the way I look at it personally is the new all-time high. Again, this is just fun with patterns. Please don't get too caught up in trying to look at patterns to predict things. Now, there's a lot of factors in crypto and Bitcoin that cause people to look for patterns. And right there, I'm showing you something, so I'm guilty of it too. But I see too many YouTubers they make their predictions off this and they get too obsessed with their predictions. And frankly, again, predictions don't matter. Correlation does not equal causation. And like in the beginning of my video, analysis of data is not enough to predict future results. This time, every time is always different. And no one knows why. If anyone knew why, they'd be a billionaire. Okay? If your predictions are that spot on, you'll be a billionaire. Now me, I just like to play with probabilities, law of averages, use the data points I had before, and make a guesstimate. But again, I don't care. I don't care if the top is in between here, before, after, I don't care. Because what did I show you? We can watch the lines on the Tether dominance. Okay? We can look at where things are when we're smacking back into it. And is Bitcoin dominance tanking back down? Take a look at these trend. Well, let's put it back on the log. Take a look at these trend lines. Okay, we have some trend line action back here with some price structure. Hit the base, and it's over here. We have this trend line moving down from the prior top to this peak, and we kind of converge around this 57, 58% level. If I had to guess, my base case is that Bitcoin dominance will have to get to this level at minimum before coming down. I could be wrong, but that's just my base case. Anyways, back to the rainbow chart. I said I was going to come back to this. Guys, yeah, I had to show you that for a reason, okay? We're looking at the end of December and middle of August. You can see the dates at the bottom if we hit these extensions, okay? Let's take a look at those dates and see where those numbers are. 156 and 210. 156 and 210. Again, we're going to go later December. Where would 156? Oh God, I got an email here. Where is 156 at the end of December? It's in that orange box. Okay. Where's 210? It's in that second red box. Okay. That's if we top by December, which is the average from the, again, from the breaking the former all-time high to the next one. Again, guys, I showed you, I believe it'll be a range, okay? Because last time, as you saw, it was the longest amount of time from breaking the former all-time high to a new peak. Maybe we have to wait a little while longer, again, like 343 days, and we have a top here in March. Okay, let's take a look at that. 155, look at that. It's right at the beginning of the orange box. 210, it's right at the beginning of the red box. Okay, kind of similar to what we had in here. Let's go to, it was August, like middle of August. There we go, 817. Now, if 155 was our only extension, that's down in the fourth box down, that very light orangish yellow box. Okay? How disappointing would that be? How unexpected would that be if we waited almost for a whole 4-year cycle and we wait till next August and Bitcoin only gets to 155? Now, if we do wait that long, if I had to guess, I would guess that we're going for that 210. At least, that we're going to go in that orange box, that 210. Okay? Now, if we wait all that time and we go above that 210, okay, the 4236 at 242, okay, let's look where that 242 is. I only think that 4236 extension is going to come in should we have another 4-year cycle. That's my guess. Again, it's a guess. I'm happy to be wrong. Okay, but where's that number? I was talking so much I already forgot. 242, 243, let's say that. 243,000. 243, again, we're going mid-August. 243. That puts us in that second red box. I could see that personally if we have to wait for a 4-year cycle. But in my opinion, again, I'm just trying to play law of averages, take what's given to me. I don't buy into all the stuff that Kathy Wood and these others say that Bitcoin's going to 500K. Hey, maybe it does. And if it does, fantastic. Great. I just don't buy it, though. Guys, I remember being in 2017, people saying Bitcoin was going to go to $1 million. There's a guy, what was his name? It's not Pat McAfee. I think it's John McAfee. Yeah, I'm typing this on my phone. You can type it in on yours. Price prediction. It's really funny. I promise you're going to like this one. And by the way, if your kids are watching, you might want to put earmuffs on them. Okay, this happened. John McAfee said in 2017, in July of 2017, okay, back here. I remember reading this, I was laughing. Time for earmuffs if your kids are around. I believe this guy's dead now, rest in peace. But this big crypto guy, crypto is going insane, said, if Bitcoin does not hit 500,000 within 3 years, which it clearly didn't. This is what the experts were saying back then. They were calling for 500K back then too. Says if it doesn't hit 500K within 3 years, I'm going to eat my own dick. That's what this guy said. Okay, I'm sorry for the language, but this is the crypto space, and sadly, it's characters like that, that keep the crypto assets from being taken seriously. It doesn't take you long to go on YouTube and to find all these quote-unquote wannabe influencers and characters. I don't know why they feel the need to have such a crazy big personality. I guess they're narcissistic or something. But to me, that's part of the reason why crypto doesn't get taken seriously. And I try to ignore all those people because they're just looking for ratings, attention. And in my opinion, a lot of these people on YouTube that make such crazy predictions, guys, my honest opinion, the people that are calling for 10K XRP, which is totally stupid, and would make Ripple have a 500 trillion market cap, which if you don't understand why that's literally impossible, you shouldn't be investing if you have no idea what market cap is. But my theory why these people make these crazy predictions is because they look at you as exit liquidity. They look at you as money to just keep pouring in, even when the top already happens. This is why we look at the rainbow chart, to get an idea of where the top can be. And to remind ourselves, it's okay if the prediction doesn't come true. But now you have signals. You have the rainbow chart. Okay, you have the rainbow chart bands. If we're in the orange or red, you have to seriously consider that the price and the bull run is coming to an end, and you might want to take profits. Not financial advice, but if you don't, things can get bad. You might want to take profits. Okay, let's show you something here. DNT. Okay, look at this. April of 21. Look how quick it was going down. Look at where the price went, even by July. It went from 50 cents to 13 cents. Crazy. Let's do another one. Let's do one I was in 2017. This one still hurts. It doesn't go back that far. TRX, come on. Binance should. No. That was a futures one. Come on now. Here we go. Guys, let me tell you a story. I got into Tron when it was I kid you not, when it was down here. Okay? It got up, and take a look at the date here. It was later December. It got up. Now it says 33 cents. I don't remember that. I remember it being more like 24, 25 cents when it was on Binance. Okay? We're talking about 0.02, a fifth of a cent to 25 cents. Yeah. It was insane. It's over 100x. And then look at this. By the end of January, look how low it was, 6 cents. Now I took profits somewhere in this range, but goddamn, I wish I would have known about Bitcoin dominance, because my profits would have been way nicer. I'm just showing you that's how violent. If you're in an altcoin that goes 100x, just sell. For the love of God, not financial advice, just sell. You don't want to miss out on that. If you get 100x, what more are you looking for? That is so rare to get, even in the stock market. If you get a 2x inside of a year, that's amazing and not common. Okay? If you get 20 to 50% a year growth in the stock market, that's really good. 10 to 20% a year is super good. Okay? If you're getting 100x, a 50x, a 20x, a 10x, it's okay to take profits, even if it goes up a bit higher. Okay? But again, I'm trying to show you guys areas to watch out for, because, I do this stuff for free. I do this to share knowledge. I'm a helpful guy. I don't want to see people get used as exit liquidity. And frankly, it really pisses me off to see all these influencers, idiots, frankly, make these predictions that they know, they're smart enough to know aren't true, because they see retail as exit liquidity. They figure, hey, if people keep pumping, even past the time it's even smart to put their money in, I can sell and they'll be buying my stuff. That's what they're trying to do. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Talked a little bit of about some things, with alt season. Oh, one last thing. I wanted to show you guys this chart right here. I'm going to end it here. I always have one last thing. If you watch my videos, I apologize. Bitcoin dominance. Here's all I want you to take away from this. When Bitcoin dominance is going up, that's bad for alts. Okay? Every other time that Bitcoin dominance is either sideways or going down is good, unless the Bitcoin price is going down. So the only time that Bitcoin dominance is bad, whether it's sideways or down, is when Bitcoin price is going down. That's all I want you to take away from this. Okay? We talked about when Bitcoin price goes up and alt season is going down. And you know what? I would say even here, both of these are alt season. Okay? I would actually change this because, just like I showed you in 2017, when the price is going down and dominance is going down, that was alt season there. All right, just something to consider. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you find these videos to be helpful. If you have any altcoins you would like for me to take a look at on the charts, let me know. I also do Bitcoin mining stock videos. My cat, he's on the table right next to me. Look at his paws. He was meowing. He hopes you're making smart financial decisions. Do not invest more than you can afford to lose. And just spend, research. Find your 4 altcoins, 5 altcoins, whatever. And just spend 5-10 minutes once a week looking at the charts. And guys, I show you things to look for. Good areas to look for. No guarantees price can't go lower. But as far as good areas to at least have some skin in the game. You can't wait forever for things to be down here. And it might never be before the next cycle top. So, hope everyone's doing well. Take care.